In a small, peaceful town surrounded by rolling hills, everyone knew each other, and life moved at a gentle pace. The town's pride and joy was its beautiful old clock tower that stood proudly in the town square. One day, a stranger arrived. He wore a tattered coat, had a long beard, and carried a large, worn-out backpack. The townspeople, wary of outsiders, whispered and gossiped about him. The stranger, whose name was Leo, quietly settled in an abandoned shed at the edge of town. He didn't talk much and kept to himself, which only fueled the townspeople's suspicions. He must be up to no good, they said. Why else would someone come here and live like that? One night, a terrible storm struck the town. Lightning cracked, and thunder roared, causing the town's clock tower to shudder. The next morning, the townspeople were devastated to find that the storm had damaged the clock, stopping its hands from moving. The clock had always been a symbol of the town's unity and prosperity. Desperate to fix the clock, the townspeople tried everything but to no avail. Just as they were about to give up, Leo approached the town square. Though hesitant, a flicker of hope sparked within him. Maybe, just maybe, he could use his skills again and help this town. But a voice of doubt whispered in his ear, "They won't trust you. They'll think you're just trying to trick them." Taking a deep breath, Leo overcame his fear and spoke up. "I can fix the clock," he said quietly. The townspeople were doubtful. "How can you, a stranger with nothing, fix our precious clock?" they asked. But seeing no other option, they allowed Leo to try. For days, Leo worked tirelessly, climbing up and down the clock tower. He dug deep into his backpack, pulling out old tools that seemed strange to the townspeople, but that felt familiar and comforting in his hands. The townspeople watched, still skeptical, but also hopeful. One morning, as the sun began to rise, the town square was filled with the familiar chimes of the clock tower. The townspeople gathered, astonished and overjoyed. The clock was not only working but looked as good as new. "How did you do it?" they asked Leo, now with respect and curiosity. Leo smiled and said, "In my younger days, I was a clockmaker. I've traveled to many places, fixing clocks and helping towns like yours. I may not have much, but my skills are still valuable." Then one young boy asked, "Why don't you do it anymore?" Leo looked at the fixed clock tower and said, "I used to be a well-respected clockmaker in a beautiful city. But a terrible fire destroyed my workshop and all my tools." The townspeople's distrust brought back those painful memories, making him feel even more alone. The townspeople were ashamed of how they had treated Leo. "We misjudged you," the mayor said. "We are sorry for our unkindness and suspicion. You've shown us that everyone has something valuable to offer, no matter their appearance or background." Leo nodded, accepting their apology. He stayed in the town, and over time, the townspeople came to know him as a kind and skilled man. He taught the children about clocks and mechanics, sharing his knowledge generously. The town learned an important lesson that day. It's not what someone looks like or where they come from that matters, but what they can contribute to the community. Leo, in turn, found a new home and a chance to heal his own wounds, proving that even the most worn-out tools could be valuable again. Moral of the story: don't judge others based on their appearance or background. Everyone has unique skills and talents that can make the world a better place if given the chance.